Back in the 2000s and 2010s, if there was one athlete who never let you forget he had money, it was gonna be Floyd Mayweather. Flying on private jets, stacks of cash on Instagram, $1 million watches, garage full of exotic cars. It went from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather. And honestly, he had the resume to back it up. Floyd retired undefeated at 50-0, beat the biggest names in boxing history. And according to multiple estimates, he's made around $1.1 billion during his whole career. $1.1 billion, bro. Floyd even showed a screenshot of his checking account with over $120 million in it. Not no investments, not no stocks. Just a checking account, bro. Which is insane when you think about it. Cause keeping that much money sitting in a checking account is the exact opposite of what wealthy people usually do, bro. But that was Floyd's image at that point of time. He wanted people to see the money. And for a long time it worked. But recently people have started asking questions about Mayweather. Is he going broke?
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah.
What makes this story even crazier is something Floyd's own dad said one time. Back when Floyd and his dad was beefing, Floyd Mayweather Sr. once said that his son's lifestyle might catch up to him. He said something like, one day he'll be running around the hood broke again. And at the time, people might have thought he was crazy. How could a dude making hundreds of millions per fight ever go broke? But fast forward today, and some of the things that done happened around Floyd's finances have people raising their eyebrows. For example, last year in 2025, Floyd reportedly took out a $50 million loan at around a 9% interest rate. Now, if you're not familiar with finance, that's a very high interest rate for someone at his wealth status, bro. When extremely wealthy people borrow money, they usually get extremely low interest rates because banks see them at a low risk. But 9%, that suggests bankers might see him as a riskier borrower. And that's not the only thing people have been speculating about. There have also been multiple financial disputes and lawsuits surrounding Floyd recently. At one point, Logan Paul accused Floyd of still owing him around $1.5 million from their exhibition fight. There was also reports that a jeweler claimed Floyd bought around $4 million worth of jewelry and never fully paid for it. And to top that off, a luxury property in New York reportedly filed legal action over a load of unpaid rent. To be fair, when you a celebrity worth hundreds of millions of dollars, lawsuits and disputes aren't that uncommon. But when several of them start popping up at once, people start asking questions. And another thing people are finding strange right now is Floyd's activity in the boxing world lately. I mean, dude, he's almost 50 years old and he's still doing exhibition fights. And not just one here or there. This year alone, he's reportedly planning multiple exhibition fights, including matchups involving names like Manny Pacquiao and Mike Tyson. Why would someone who made over $1 billion still be fighting like this? This is the same thing that happened to Muhammad Ali, who unfortunately had financial problems later in life and kept fighting longer than he should have at an old age. There's also the spending. Floyd has always been known for his extreme spending habits. We talking about private jets, multiple mansions. I think he got a mansion just for his clothes or something crazy like that. Exotic cars, luxury watches, diamond jewelry. I saw a video circulating around that Floyd spent around $7 million at Gucci supposedly. $7 million, bro, at one store. Now, whether that exact number is accurate or not, it fits the image Floyd built over the years. He wasn't just rich, he wanted to look as rich as possible at all times. But the problem with that kind of lifestyle is simple. Money don't always come in forever. Even if you made $1 billion in your lifetime, if you spending millions constantly without careful planning, the money can disappear faster than people think. And that's something we've seen happen to athletes over and over again. Mike Tyson, Allen Iverson, Antoine Walker, athletes who made hundreds of millions and still ended up with financial problems later. Now, to be fair, Floyd does reportedly own a lot of real estate, so some people think he's actually not broke. He might just be cash poor and might just be in debt to a lot of people, meaning most of his wealth is tied up in assets like buildings or properties. That's very possible. In fact, some reports say Floyd has been selling certain real estate properties recently, which could simply be him restructuring his investments. So the reality might be somewhere in the middle. He may not be broke in the sense of having zero money, but he may not have the endless cash flow people always assume he had either. And honestly, the whole situation is kind of sad if it's true, because Floyd Mayweather was one of the most financially successful fighters, if not athletes in general, in the history of sports. A man who made over $1.1 billion. A man who had 120 million sitting in his checking account at one point. That's generational wealth. That's the kind of money most people couldn't spend in 10 lifetimes, which is why the biggest lesson from Floyd's situation is simple. When you get money, act broke, bro, because money don't always come in fast forever. At some point, the big paydays slow down, the fight stop, the checks gonna get smaller. And if your lifestyle is built around constant spending, that can catch up with you, bro. Years ago, Floyd Mayweather Sr. warned that one day his son might end up running around broke. At the time, it might have sounded crazy, but now, I mean, is it reality?